Hi, this is Caitlin,
This is Gabry.
and welcome back to AvengeGirls and Friends.
We just had an interesting little mishap where we forgot our names, how to introduce ourselves, and how to count.
Yeah,
So holiday brain is going great.
yeah, it's fine. My excuse is that I'm done with school, and it's like, COVID brain, and the mixture of those two is just meaning that I don't have a brain. So it's a
Yeah.
lot of it's a lot of fun.
Anyway, so that means that watching Fast Five was a very welcome relief this
Yes,
month.
yes, and it is. I think I've said this in like every single episode of the season, but it is my favorite, or one of my
Oh my
favorites,
God.
um, of the series.
I'm gonna
And I
make you
was
pick a real favorite one day.
I know. Well, I think I'm gonna wait to say it for sure because I think the seventh one might be my actual favorite, but I'm gonna wait because I haven't seen them both close together
Mhm.
in a while. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Um, but they're both high up there, and I was really excited to see what you, Gabry, had to say about this movie because it is one of my favorites, and so much happens, and it's even more different from like the fourth one. The fourth one was first kind of the one that change things up. But this is the real like fam introduction, I think, in my opinion.
I don't think it's real fam introduction, but it's definitely a continuation, like
Yeah.
maybe like re-solidifying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. I would
Yeah.
agree with that.
So good. The characters that come back. Mwah.
Yes.
Chef's kiss. So exciting.
I was that Beyonce meme. Where is it? Beyonce? Me, but with Vince. When I was like, what
Vince.
is he doing here?
I love that they brought him back. Um, I'm we're just gonna jump right into this. I'm very sad that they killed him off because that was sad, and he has a kid and a wife that he loved, and he was like just there to like help them. And then
Yeah,
he died. I feel like I don't know why they killed him. You know what I mean? Like just for drama. Like he was the
maybe
one expendable family member.
it's true he is, or one expendable,
Was.
the second expendable family member. I mean, we already got rid of the first one.
That's true.
Jesse, R.I.P. What I this is gonna sound so mean. It's like when they're pulling the heist on the train, and I'm like, well, that's what you get for pulling a heist with people who aren't fam. Like,
That's
you brought in
true.
randos and you decided to
Yep.
trust them. You are fools.
That's what you get for trying to do a heist without fam. I feel like I want like a pin of that. What a what a beautiful quote. And
I
you're
do what
right.
I can.
'Cause like you can't trust those people. You can't trust anyone but the people that you love. And how are you going to pull off a heist if you don't, in some way or shape or form, actually like the people that you're pulling the heist with? Even in the Ocean's movies, they kind of like each other on a level, right?
Yeah, they definitely have a level of camaraderie, but
Yeah,
like these people are people that
they were
just met
sketchy.
and they didn't like communicate with each other like at all.
No,
So
no, my gusta.
that was doomed from the beginning.
Yeah.
Also, can we go back to the beginning really quick?
Yes. Yes.
And Dom looks so despondent on the prison bus. Did he,
Yeah.
did he not think they were going to come get him? Like, he
Yeah. I
looks
mean,
so sad.
I
Did
don't
he
think
think
he
they were
did.
just gonna let him go? I mean,
Yeah.
it could definitely like feel with the internalized self-loathing that I like read about him having in fic, but I don't really see him as having actual self-loathing in canon.
Yeah.
So I was like, Tom, it's okay. Like they're coming for you. They're always
Yeah.
going to. And come on.
Maybe it's like less less self-loathing and more like he just thought, okay, Brian's with Mia, they can finally be happy, like, and not have this life of crime. But then he didn't, take into consideration that they both love him so much
Yeah.
that they can't just let him. And it wasn't fair. I think Brian
Yeah.
and Mia are very like fairness rules. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
they're gonna take it into their own hands if the law doesn't treat them right.
I
And that's
think
what
you're
happened.
right.
But that's such a cool scene too. The fact that like 4 ends exactly where 5 begins. It's like seamless,
I
and
like
it's
when
such a
stuff like that matches
cool,
up.
yeah, and it's such a cool prison, quote unquote, prison break, getting them from the
Right.
bus. Man, smooth. Mia and Dom no, there were two others, weren't they? Or is it just Mia and Dom? I
No, I think there were others. Like, I literally just watched this last night and I can't remember. That should explain some things about
yeah,
my
brain.
life lately.
You're valid. This is a safe space, Gabs.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Much safer than Rio, I think we can safely say.
Yeah, like
At least the Rio of this movie, and if you were on the lam from, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, which I can think of better people to be on the run from.
yeah, especially
Yeah.
like this version. He's so
He's so no nonsense. Oh my
yes,
God. I
like
was shocked. I'm
crazy.
not gonna lie.
Well, because like you've seen the trailer for like Hobbs and Shaw probably, right? Or like bits of him from other
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
He's different. He's like an entirely different character. Like he's funny and more like any other Dwayne protagonist in action movies. This is like an entirely different character. I forgot that he was so no nonsense.
Yeah, I barely remember like the Hobbs and Shaw trailer or anything, so like I didn't have like any actual
Yeah, point of reference.
context, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I'm so used to Dwayne having an entirely different attitude and everything else that he's in,
Yeah.
so this was really shocking.
Shock. You know what I found out? I forget actually what I was looking for, but I was looking probably on Wikipedia about like facts for this movie because that's what I like to do. And I found out that apparently Dwayne Johnson is in this movie because Vin Diesel was reading his Facebook fan page, like Vin's Facebook fan. He was reading his own fan page, and
Nice.
people there were like, "You and Vin should do a movie," or I'm sorry, "You and Dwayne should do a movie." Like kept pounding him, and then he reached out apparently to Dwayne
He was
Johnson.
like, okay.
Yeah.
First of all, that's hilarious. Second of all, I really appreciate that. I feel like Vin Diesel cares so much about like what his fans think
Yes.
and like what
Oh,
they want out
absolutely.
of stuff, and it never feels like, so far in my experience, it's never felt like blatant fan service.
Yes. Or
Like
like
it's still
hand-wringing or
been
whatever.
done really well, and it doesn't make me want to roll my eyes and be like, oh
Yeah.
my God, are you okay? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
So
Agreed. I mean, again, even this, like, the character, yeah, it's kind of weird that Hobbs is so no nonsense, like we've been talking about, but also, like, it's such a cool dynamic in this, like, the Hobbs and, I was about to call him Vin, the Hobbs and Dom
yeah,
dynamic. Man, that fight, holy shit.
it is a really good fight. I gotta bring up the fanfic, Kate. I
Do
can't
it.
help it.
I mean, yeah,
So
we're here for it, yeah.
I have been waiting for this scene for so long because I don't remember, maybe a couple, 2, 3 months ago, I found this fanfic that's actually set after this movie. So I
Yeah.
was kind of technically spoiled for one thing, but not really.
Yeah.
And it's the fight between Dom and Hobbs, where you think Dom is gonna beat Dwayne's head in with this wrench again, like he
Yeah.
did to the other guy, and it's about, whether or not like Brian would have stopped him or not in that moment, or and what they would have done in the aftermath and everything. Is really gorgeous and gut wrenching, and you
Yeah.
should read it. It's called Tidal Force, I think,
Yes.
on AO3. But so I watched it and I was like, oh, that's it? Are you kidding? That's it? That's the whole reaction? I'm like, ah!
You wanted more lingering moments on Brian's face.
I did. I'm not going to lie.
Man, yeah, because
I
I'd forgotten that scene even happened, and so I was confused when reading the fic. I was like, okay, I don't even remember, and that's
yeah,
kind of disappointing because it was so
that
good.
that moment is actually over in like a second.
Yeah,
Which is one of the things I love about fanfic so much, because
yes,
then you can expand that and make it last much longer.
yeah,
But I digress. Anyway, my opinion is that yes, Brian absolutely would have let Dom keep
yeah,
going. I think even if he knew that Dom would have regretted it.
yeah. I don't think he would have stopped
I
him.
don't think he would have stopped him.
Yeah,
Wow.
which is like, woof. What does that say about both of their characters?
Hold. He's cool.
Yeah.
Listen, I think we don't pay enough attention to the fact that Brian O'Connor is cold-blooded. Like,
He is. Yeah. Like, there's a reason he's on this side of the law after being a cop. You know what I mean? Like, he does things very differently than the other cops that he was working with, or FBI agents or whatever.
definitely.
And we love him for it, though. Brian's good. He's the one, because he's not a cop anymore, so I can say that.
Yes.
I can say that I love him.
We're allowed to like him now.
Yeah. Oh, can we talk briefly, not to switch ships here, but about Han and Giselle?
Yeah, we can definitely talk about Han and Giselle, which is like so cute,
Oh
and I
my
did
God.
not expect that at all, and I didn't expect to like kind of enjoy it either. I was like, oh no, they're actually really cute.
Like, I was like, okay, the Hets win. These guys are adorable.
Maybe they do have rights.
Yeah. They're so, oh my God. And well, I think a lot of it stems from the fact that I like them both separately as characters, and I like their actors too. Like, they're oh my gosh, they're so good. And then together, somehow they just work. Like, you would not think that this, wisecracking but very slow and laid back guy would at all be the type of this, like, literally Amazonian warrior kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Not to like draw explicit Wonder Woman parallels, but like, she does look like an Amazonian warrior. It's the legs, I think.
It probably is.
Somehow it works, and I love them. And like, okay, when she drifts perfectly, and Han just goes like slack jog,
I know.
probably for the first time in his entire life, and goes, "I think I'm in love." Oh my God.
Actually, I said out loud to myself, I was like, oh, he loves her, like a split second before he said that.
And you were right.
Man,
what? That's like the only love at semi first sight story I can deal with.
That you'll get behind.
Yeah. That's so, oh my gosh. And then at the end when they're making out, but he's like driving dangerously because she's on his lap. I was like, okay, it looks like they're gonna die, but that's fine.
They'll die happy, I guess.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Also, I feel like we do have to say, or just like talk about the scene where they get the handprint.
Yeah.
Which is like, on the one hand, it's just playing into everything else that the Fast and Furious franchise does with women and objectifying them, right?
Definitely, yeah.
But on the other hand, it's also like hilarious that like both of them are like, yeah, this is the only way to do it. It'll work. And they were right. His hand goes right there, and she's like, yep, I got it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's almost genius if we can ignore the objectification aspect.
Love to let my butt be accessory to crimes.
Wow, you have a lot of zingers today. I feel like I want to print these out. What was I just want to know your reaction when you realized the safes were switched, or the vaults were switched.
I should have just assumed it was something like that, quite frankly. You'd think that with the amount of like heist movies I love and enjoy, that I would have been able to figure that out, but I'm so gullible. Gullible, you guys. They get me every time. I never see twists coming. Yeah. Like,
they're good.
It's crazy. So that was pretty good. I enjoyed that. You should have seen the way my jaw dropped when they opened the vault with the money. I was like, okay, wow.
Like, that's a lot of fucking money.
It was.
Holy shit.
Overall, like, yes, brilliant plan. Almost flawlessly executed.
Yeah.
And yet, for all that, I feel like I saw less wanton destruction of a city in Avengers movies. Like, oh my God. I mean, not that there's a lot you can do with like a vault swinging around from behind your car, but come on.
But also it's crazy. And like, I just try not to think about how many people died during that. Right? Like, holy shit. They're murderers on top of, thieves. The thieving was like for the good of everyone else, I guess. Kind of Robin Hood-esque, but just like amongst the family. Yeah. Those people were evil, didn't need the money. But they literally, they definitely killed at least one person, probably a lot more during that rampage. There's no way they didn't.
That was safe.
Yeah. And you're right. I feel like even any other superhero movies, like if you just scale it down, like if superhero movies were just about driving cars for whatever reason, they still wouldn't kill as many people as what happened
Maybe, I
during
don't know for
the
sure,
vault
but
scene. It's crazy. And also the physics of literally everything that happened in this movie.
oh yes. Let's
No.
talk about that.
Even at I think I made a comment at the very beginning of the movie. I was like, is Brian like a physicist? Like, does he actually have a physics degree also on the side that we just don't know about? Because how could
We
he
have
have made,
definitely
like, have we mentioned this before?
we have definitely wondered this before. We're like, are they all secret like physics geniuses?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Maybe.
Especially with, I mean, I guess this is less physics genius, the vault scene, because I just think it's probably literally physically impossible for that to happen. There's no way two cars. The vault itself would be so heavy that the cars would be pulled back. No matter, I don't care what horsepower or whatever bullshit you have. Like,
Yeah, I'm not sure I believe this. I'll
yeah,
believe it when I watch you do it in front of me.
yeah. And then, so I watched this with my family, and this got us into a bigger discussion over like the rest of the stuff that happens in other movies. And you've seen the F9 trailer, right?
Yeah.
And there's the part where Letty's like, Dom, don't do it. And he like jumps
He's
off
like,
with the car.
okay.
Yeah. And the car like hooks on the bridge thingy. And
Yeah.
it like goes taut and the car swings. I was like, that would also not happen. It would have hooked on the car and then the front of the car would have came off and they would have died. You know what I
Probably
mean?
true. Yeah. I do know what you mean.
But it's beautiful and it's entertaining and enchanting and I will take it.
Yeah,
take
no,
it
like
anyways.
we'll rag on it for
Yeah.
being unrealistic physically, but I don't actually want it to be
Yeah.
realistic because that would kind of suck.
The vault scene is one of the most genius pieces of filmmaking that I've ever seen.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Yeah, I'm being dramatic, but but it's so entertaining. And, you know, in the moment you just can't help but be like, whatever. This is good. This is good cinema, and I'll take it.
I did feel that way about the beginning, when they're doing the train heist, and
Yeah.
particularly the moment where is it Brian that's stuck on the train and Dom's the one driving
Yes.
as they're headed toward the bridge and whatever.
Yeah.
I was watching it, I was like, oh, and in my head, not to make everything about Star Wars, I was like, the only two other people in the universe who could pull this off are Anakin and Obi-Wan because they're drift compatible.
It's true. Drift compatible people can pull off what Dom and Brian do, to be honest.
True. And then it was incredibly like beautiful cinematography wise as they, you know, like fall into the river.
Man. See this movie? You know, I don't care what people say. It's good.
It's fun.
It's a fun movie. We can have fun here. We're allowed.
Are we allowed?
You know, during this current situation, yes.
All right.
Even
good.
more.
I'm gonna continue to have fun by making fun of Dom and Brian a little bit.
Yeah, do it.
Only because when they start planning their heist and everything, and Dom's like, we need 2 precision drivers, guys that never lose. I'm like, okay, first of all, Brian has lost every race he's been in with you, so jot that down. Secondly, never lose. Dom, please. Like, you're just like asking for trouble there.
Yeah.
And also, you've never successfully walked away from any of the jobs you've done before. Like,
always something happens.
You're gonna lose at the end of this movie. Like, I'm just warning you.
Yep. I also love that you made a note of Roman sizing up Dom. And he knows.
He knows. Like, seriously, though, when Brian introduces Roman to Dom, he's like, okay, so this is my replacement best friend / something else.
Yeah,
you know?
that I don't want to get into.
Yeah. He's very aware.
Yeah. He looks at Dom, sizes him up, and then immediately decides, like, you know what? Taj is right there, and he's going to be my new best friend for the next 4 movies.
Yep, Tej and I are gonna be great, and it's gonna be fun. Yep. I also want to say I like those 2 other guys. I don't think I caught their names at all, but I love you're always so negative. Like, calm down. So I'm gonna get you cooking classes. Like, okay, their bromance is great. I
It's
really
lovely.
enjoyed them.
And I'm pretty sure that they don't show up in any future movies, and they just like maybe there's a offhand comment like, oh, they're not doing anymore. But I just think it's so funny that they do this one heist for like unbelievable amounts of money, right? Like all of them could literally not do anything else for the rest of their lives and they'd be fine. And these two literally go, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna retire and not not do anything else. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do any more heists with you. And the other guys are like, you know what? We're addicted to this.
Do one more job.
Yeah. And then they say that at the end of every movie. They're like, okay, no
Yeah,
more.
exactly.
And then they do one more every time.
I respect those guys for actually sticking to it, because you never
Right?
see that happen. It's
don't.
always like, oh, we got to do one final job, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, no, we're actually out. Like, see
We
you
have
later.
money. Yeah, we don't need more. That's very relatable, and I think that in real life, that's how it would go. For me, at least. I think you and I would be like, no, we're done.
I've risked my life enough. We're good.
Yeah. I literally can like retire now at age, 26 and live to 126 and still have money left over. That's the amount of money that these guys made, probably.
Yeah.
It's too much. And the fact that they do, I mean, I guess to be fair, like the reason why they do another job in the sixth one is because of Letty. So,
Right.
so maybe they all did want to retire more. But it's like family, so they came back.
Mm-hmm.
But still, then there were other movies, so they kept on doing it.
They were like, sorry, guys, we were hired to do like 4 more films, so we got to keep going.
Gotta keep making money and crashing really expensive cars.
Wow. It's a hard life that they
It is
lead,
a hard
clearly.
life. I don't even know how they buy these cars. I mean, I guess, I don't know anything about cars, but the fact that like Tej and Roman bought the same exact car and there's only like 3 like it in the entire world. Like, who do you find to do that kind of deal with? I don't know.
I have no clue. I have no experience in rare / semi-illicit
Cars?
activities.
Yeah. I was gonna say, is it on like the black market or whatever they're called?
I don't think so. I think it's just stupid high end, but you
Yeah.
never know, I guess.
Yeah. Once again, suspension of disbelief. It's,
Yeah.
whatever. This
I think so.
this might as well happen.
One more thing before we talk about the end, maybe.
Mhm.
Should we talk
Sure.
about Elena?
Yeah, we should talk about Elena. I appreciate Elena as a character. It's frustrating that they like pushed her and Dom together, knowing that like they were gonna bring Letty back. I think that's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
I liked her as an independent character and just as someone who like related to what Dom had gone through,
I
but
have
I
to
also
agree.
there's like, I don't want to spoil it for you, but there is like a reason maybe if they knew something that was going to happen in the next few films, that's why they wanted them to be together. But also, I think that they didn't know. I think this is one of the cases where they did not plan ahead. And I know that's very vague for listeners and also you, but there is something that happens that like plot-wise kind of explains why they needed to be together. But I think that they kind of retconned that. So we'll see. Yeah. You'll know by the 8th movie.
Oh God. Okay.
So it takes a while. It takes a while to get there.
Yeah, no, I thought she was a really cool character. She's, I think, by far my favorite like female character that they've introduced that hasn't become part of the team. So like
Yeah.
I would have said Giselle, but now Giselle's part of the team. So
Yeah.
it's fine. But no, I thought she was great, and I liked what you said about her relating to Dom and everything. And I think they could have maybe gone even further into that, or maybe they do in the next one. I don't know if she's in the next one or not, but
He's briefly, I think.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
But I think that stop trying to make second Delena happen. First Delena being Damon and Elena from Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
I could tell what they were going for, but it felt forced.
It
like
did.
I'm like,
yes.
If you had let them be people
Yeah.
with communal grief and
That's
not
so much
have
more
to
interesting.
make everything romantic. That would have been really cool, but
Yeah.
instead we have to be extremely straight at all times.
Yep. At
And
least
it's
with
sad.
and I feel like they do it on purpose so we can't, be like, oh, Dom and Brian, even though we do anyways.
Yeah.
It's one of those
I'm sorry.
straight rules.
Well, I mean, like there's a whole pregnancy in this movie, and it's still not going to
Yeah.
stop me. So there's
Yeah.
that too.
We got to talk about Mia. That's
Yes.
a good point. I still love Mia. I'm glad that I feel like every movie they let her do a little bit more.
Yeah, she has a very active role in this, I felt
Yeah.
like, which was cool.
And I feel like that's the last time she's as active until theoretically F9.
Okay.
She does have the baby, and she can't really, do stuff when she has a baby, I guess. Get a babysitter. Go on the heist.
Yeah, come on.
No, but she like actually gets to like do some like, or it looks like she does like stunts in this movie.
Hmm.
They allow her to like be a badass and like help them do the heist. Like she's like, what's it called? The one like behind the computer who like has all the, like she's the one directing Kim Possible, for example. You know what I mean? Isn't there
Yes.
like that's a trope, right?
Yeah, my comparison, I was gonna say Player from the new
Oh yeah,
Carmen
yeah, yeah.
Sandiego,
Same
but
thing.
like Control, basically.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. There's a name to the trope. It might be Control,
So it makes
uh,
sense.
or the person behind I forget what it is. But you guys listening who know tropes better, let me know because it's gonna bother me.
Yeah. And we're not gonna look it up.
No.
Do our homework for us.
Yeah. And I like that they like give her that role, but still allow her to be badass and active. It's nice. She's a part of the fam and the team.
She's double a team member.
Yeah, because there's
Baby
something
team
in her
member.
stomach.
Baby team member.
Baby team. I feel like I want them to do that in a future movie. Not to go on a tangent, but like having like I'm sorry, not Dom's, Brian and Mia's kid eventually like be a racer. Maybe not
Yeah.
like a heist racer, but
No,
maybe he
he'd
gets
be
to
able
live
to
real
go like
life.
legit,
Yeah.
which would be
Oh.
hilarious.
He
Hilarious
becomes
and kind of
Lightning
nice
McQueen.
because what?
I said he becomes Lightning McQueen.
No. Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Yes, he becomes Lightning McQueen. Yeah, okay. I was just gonna say it would be funny considering everyone in his family is a criminal, but it would also be nice and poetic because then it would be like a Toretto returning to like actual like racing, like legit
Yeah.
racing, because that's what like Dom and his dad were doing, and then the accident happened. So I think that would be really cool.
Oh my God. I hope that's how they end it. That'd be so sweet.
That would be really
I can't
sweet.
I can't envisioning them ending it, but like in theory,
Yeah.
in 2045 or whatever, you know, like
After
I
they go
hope
to
that
space.
yes, after they go to space, they come back. Oh, my brother and I were talking, and I was like, oh, I think they should go to space, and he's like, yes, I agree. And then he was like, you know what? I think they should also do. I think that should be the final movie. Is they travel through time.
Yes.
Could you imagine them
Can't
like,
believe I didn't think about this, but absolutely, yes, that's exactly what will happen.
yeah, like
They're
I
gonna
think it
go
has
they're gonna
to.
go so fast in their cars
Yeah.
in reverse that they're gonna break
Yeah.
through
Space-time
space-time.
continuum.
It'll be beautiful.
Yeah. And they go back in time and they stop the Kennedy assassination.
Hmm.
It'll be beautiful.
Wait, the Kennedy assassination, hold up. What the fuck?
Why are you just nodding? What did you think I said?
I only heard like half of one of the words, and I was still like, yeah, cool.
It's the John Mulaney joke.
Yeah, no, I know, you're right. And then they go back and go, oh no, we didn't even think of that.
Think of that.
That's way better. Now I'm
Now we're
embarrassed to say. Now I'm embarrassed that I was just nodding.
Oh my God. Oh, I love you, Gabs.
I love you too, man. To discuss, I feel weird talking about pregnancy on this.
Yeah, I feel
But
like didn't we talk about that before? During Twilight we discussed weird pregnancy things during Twilight.
yeah, and I'm just it makes me uncomfortable in general. But
Yeah,
and also it just feels
that's
weird to talk about it as a completely separate like thing within this
yeah,
franchise somehow. I don't know why it feels weird, but it does. But I just kind of want to talk about it because that doesn't happen in action movies a whole lot.
good point. Yeah,
Because
I
this
feel
is still very family oriented
yeah,
action movie, both within, the characters' lives and, like I think families go see these movies.
I'm
I don't know. My family's
yeah.
never gone to see any of them. But please take over my brain.
It's okay.
I can't.
I think
I
you're
lost.
right. And I think that you're on the right track when you mentioned families because I think that's why they get away with it or like that it makes sense that pregnancy and like children are included in this because at its core, I mean, yeah, it's an action franchise movie that started out about just cars and racing and being bros or whatever, but it grew to be this thing that is about family, like literally family,
Hmm.
found and actual. And kids are a part of that. And they have kids. I think there are 3 kids total eventually. Maybe
Okay.
just 2, but at least 3. Wait, I said that wrong.
Oh boy.
One just like fades into the void. No, there's at least 2, but I think that there's 3 is my based on F9. I'm not sure who the kid in F9 is. He might be Letty and Dom's kid, but he might be someone else's kid.
Okay.
And that's all I'll say about this. So, but there's kids, is my point, and kids are family, and so that's why I think it makes sense that they're included in this. Whereas other, action franchises, there's not a heavy, you know, focus on family just in general, and so it would feel weird for like I'm trying to think of another action franchise like James Bond to have a kid,
Yeah, no, you're definitely right.
or
That's
Tom
probably.
Cruise. Yeah,
Um,
ew, gross. Mop it up.
it gave us some really nice moments between, sorry to make everything about Dom and Brian, but it
No,
gave
do
us
it.
really nice moments between Dom and Brian because they talk
Yeah.
about, like Dom remembers everything about his dad. He loved his dad so much. And
Yeah.
like, I really enjoy that. I like how Dom is very much an atypical, like, macho hero, I guess,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
he's very like it would be easy to look at him and think he's like the epitome of toxic masculinity, but he's
Yes.
not.
Right. Yeah.
He loves Letty, he loves his sister, he loves his whole family. He'd do anything for them. I think, feels things a lot more deeply than he would ever let anyone
Yeah.
see. So that whole moment where he's talking about how great his dad was and everything contrasted with how Brian like can't remember anything
Yeah.
about his dad, and they talk about those whole, like the realistic fear of like, oh my God, am I going to be like a super fucked up parent, like
Yeah.
especially because I don't know anything. He's like, no, you're going to be good. One, unspoken because I'll kick your ass, but
Yeah.
also because like I know who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of nice like little things in that general like vicinity that are really
Yeah.
good. Like he's so happy when he finds out he's gonna be an
He
uncle. It's
is.
so cute. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, oh, Dom would be a really great dad actually.
He would be. Yeah. And like again, this just goes back to what we were saying before about how central family is to this franchise. And I like a lot of people I feel like are confused when I say that I love these movies so much. But that's why, right? Like Dom is allowed to be a guy who is super masculine, hyper masculine, right? But at the same time, he loves so much. And it's not just like sexualizing women loving them. Like, oh, here's, he has one woman in this movie and then another woman in the next movie. It's not like that with Dom or any of these guys, really. Like,
Yeah.
it's the long con for all of them. And it's not just about women. It's about like Dom clearly loves Brian. They clearly love each other. Like, you can't argue with that. I
Yeah.
mean, you can argue whether it's just platonic or romantic, sure, but like,
But it
I
is
think,
there.
yeah, they love each other at some level. because they're family.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it, baby. These movies are about family.
Mhm.
Cars and action just kind of, you know,
They
filling out
happen to be
the other
there.
parts of the plot. Yeah.
That is a really good speech, by the way. La Familia, Mi
Mhm.
Familia speech.
It gets me every time.
The most important thing is always going to be the people in this room. Oh,
God, yeah.
okay.
I was like, it's fine. I'm not gonna cry and think of my friends. It's fine.
The most important thing will always be the people on this Zoom.
Yeah. In the group chat.
Yeah, in this group chat. Yeah. Listen, we can't all meet in an abandoned warehouse in Rio whenever we want.
If only, you know. I think that's my goal in life, is to get us to
Okay.
to being able to do that whenever we wanted. Just
I'm in.
just hop on a plane. Yeah. I think it'd be lovely.
So I think the last thing we need to talk about is the last scene.
Yes, yeah.
And the second to last scene, I guess, technically, because there's a mid-credit scene as
Yes,
well as
that
the
I
last
forgot
scene.
about.
So I'm trying to figure out what's up with what they're trying to convey with that last scene, because
Yeah, it's
Dom
weird.
says he's never seen his sister so happy, and Brian's like, it's because we're free. But he's looking at the cars as he says that. It's like, you're not subtle, and you are never going to be happy.
Yeah.
You are never going to be happy unless you are racing.
And I think like
That's what does it for me.
I mean, that is it. That I think you're 100% correct in your analysis of that scene. It's like, I mean, if anything, like cars to Brian represent freedom. So even though like Mia feels free playing on the beach or whatever with Brian and her brother, it's all great. But Brian and Dom will never feel that happiness without the cars involved.
Yeah.
You know? It's the cars for them.
I was
Cars
gonna say
are
it's unfortunate, so like I can't predict honestly what happens with their relationship, and I like won't look it up or anything, but like I wouldn't be surprised if they ultimately ended up actually separating, because
of the
like
cars.
they'd still be friends, I think, but she would be happy getting out of the life entirely. He's always gonna want to go back to it, and he's not
Yeah.
gonna be happy until he does.
Yep, I 100% agree. It's in his blood, racing. Yeah.
Because he's Lightning O'Connor.
Yes.
Oh wait, no, he's not
No, that's
Lightning
his
O'Connor.
son.
That's his son.
son.
My bad.
Lightning O'Connor, who goes by the stage name of Lightning McQueen when he races. We're really bringing things full circle. Oh my god. You're welcome, everyone. Just sit with that image of Lightning.
And then of
O'Connor.
course there's, you know what, I ruined it. That would have been the perfect place to end it. But Letty.
That's true. No, we need to talk about Letty, which I told Gabry I had forgotten that there was an after credit scene, and I just like turned the movie off. And then only reading Gabry's little note about fucking Letty did I remember that they do tease her coming back at the end of this film.
Do I believe in ghosts?
Like
okay. The Winter Soldier? Very Winter Soldier vibes with that question.
Oh my god, an AU just popped into my head unbidden.
I'm not
unannounced.
sorry.
It's okay. Do you want to hear it really quick?
Yes.
Letty is a Winter Soldier. Dom is Captain America. Brian is Iron Man. That's as far as I got really quickly.
No, it makes sense though. I'm here for this.
Checks out.
It checks out. Can't believe they're bringing her back.
Yeah. It's very
Which, like, I knew they were going to, but I was, like, still like, whoa, wait, what? I just figured, like, I didn't think there was going to be a teaser leading into it, was all.
Yeah.
Like, she was just going to show up in the next one.
Like, surprise,
like, as part of a, like, well, more like a rescue mission type of thing.
Oh, yeah. It's obviously, you'll find out. It's a bit different than that. But it's well handled, and it's, you know, like I was saying before, I think in some ways they would have been all right just to like retire, but they can't now because Letty's back and they have to go find Letty, obviously, in the 6th movie. Right. So, and it's a good movie. Come January. Yeah. I guess that's usually what I say. I'm like, oh, so next time you hear from us, you'll be doing additional. So you guys know we'll be doing Fast 6. Is that what it's called? No. Fast and Furious?
I think it's Fast and Furious 6, yeah.
Yeah. The naming, I don't remember the naming scheme after Fast 5.
It's Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6, Furious
Oh,
7,
yeah.
because they're assholes.
It's so funny. And then Fate of the Furious.
Yeah.
And then F9. F9. But it's F9.
Phenomenal?
F9. Oh, I hope not.
No, I don't think so. I think I read somewhere,
That's
I
what
read two things somewhere, like one that it was maybe going to end after 10,
Oh, I did look this up. Wait.
and that Brian's going to be a character
What?
again.
I guess
I
they could
think I
do what
read
they
somewhere
did.
that his brothers were going to stand in for him and do some stuff.
That
So,
makes sense. That's how they filmed the end of the 7th one, actually. Because he
right.
actually passed away before they were able to finish filming. So they had the brothers stand in and they like CGI'd over him. And his brothers looked like him. So not hard to do, I suppose.
Wow,
But
Brian.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because I want him to get, I don't know, an even better, like when they finish it, I want him to be there. Yeah. It'd be nice.
just
A nice
think
little
it's
tribute.
funny. It's a perfect example of how there can never be one last job because he retires at end of
Yeah.
F7, and if he comes back and it's like,
That's
oh,
true.
we all knew you couldn't
We knew,
stay
yeah.
away.
No one in this franchise can really retire. They have to end on a note where it's just like, see, that's why, okay, a little tangent here. You don't know how F7 ends or Fury 7 or whatever. But it ends literally perfectly. Like if they hadn't done any more movies, I think it would have been fine. Like for that kind of franchise, it's the perfect ending. And you will see what I mean. I'm so sorry I keep saying that, but you'll get it. And then they like ruin everything with Fate of the Furious. So I'm really hoping that F9 fixes what Fate did. I didn't like Fate of the Furious, which is hard for me to
stressful.
say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, tune in January for the continuing saga of Caitlin torturing Gabry by not telling her spoilers and being very vague about things that happen in Fast and Furious.
Yep. Ongoing saga.
I can't wait.
As always, we are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Talk to us. We like people. We like communicating. And we're free, or will be freer after the holidays, so hit us up. Yep. Please.
Tell us what you think about what we've been talking about on the podcast lately, and what your perfect, I don't know, what your perfect ending for the Fast and Furious saga would be. I am curious what people think about that. So
thank you as always, guys, for listening.
And until next time, AvengeGirls out.